everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So we are officially here to talk to you about the books that I read in May. It was a slower reading month for me. It was just, there's a lot going on, not only in my professional life, but also in my kids' lives. It was just a lot. So I'm just going to chalk it up to that. I spent some good time with some books that I loved. I spent some good time with some books that helped distract me from everything, and I rage read a book. We'll get to that. Okay, so the first couple books that I knocked out pretty quick in the month of May were both read on my Kindle. They were free Kindle Unlimited books. I don't remember where I learned about these, but there's some of the first books that Freida McFadden wrote. It's a contemporary series. There's two books. The first one is The Devil Wears Scrubs, and then the second one is The Devil You Know. This follows Dr. Jane, what's her last name? I don't remember, but it starts with the beginning of her kind of medical career. She's an intern at a hospital in New York. And so it follows her experience being an intern and having this not so great resident, and it being this competition and her being exhausted and finding her passion and maybe hating a couple things, but then also meeting a very attractive doctor. So we went from there. And then the second book, it takes place actually a number of years later, maybe 4 or 5 years later. And we see where Jane has ended up, as well as some of the other characters in the book. I enjoyed that because I could also see a scenario where this was 3 books, where you had the beginning of Jane being a doctor, once she officially graduates, that in-between phase, and then where the final book ended up. But I like that it was just the 2, and we kind of skipped some of the maybe not so interesting middle. But they were both 3 stars. They were both fine. They were really great palate cleansers, quick reads that didn't require a whole lot of my brain power, which was what I was looking for. The next one that I read, I actually listened to it because I couldn't find my book. But then when I was preparing for this video, it magically showed up. So I'm not sure what happened to it in that time period, but I did listen to this book. It is Statistically Speaking by Debbie Johnson. This one follows our main character. Her name is Gemma. She's a high school history teacher. She loves certainty, historical facts, numbers, statistics. In fact, it's super cute because every chapter title is some sort of statistic. Let's see. 6 billion dance steps and 3 tired women. I can't seem to turn to the beginning of a chapter. 112 steps to a difficult conversation in 1 angry garden gnome. So the title has something to do with what happens in the chapter. 999 parts of the Tower of London and no new answers. So they're just statistics. It's interesting how that was brought into it. So to the outside world, Gemma's life looks quite spectacular. And, but inside she's got quite the battle going on. In the past, when she was growing up, she ended up having a baby. I want to say she was maybe 16. Yeah, 16 years old, had a baby and gave her up for adoption. And this is the year that that baby turns 18. And this is the year that that baby could potentially look for her. And in the midst of her knowing this and realizing this, she befriends a neighbor, and this neighbor has a daughter whom they adopted and reminds her a lot of herself. So she's grappling with this, wanting to learn more about this relationship for her own personal reasons, but also really getting an understanding from maybe the other side of the adoption process. And then we kind of go from there. There's a little bit of a romance involved here. It wasn't huge. I didn't think it was super necessary. It was just okay. I gave this, I want to say 3 stars. It was fine. I feel like it's forgettable. There were parts where she went on and on and on and on and on about some things, where it was just like, meh, it's okay. It was okay. It was cute. It was for book club. A handful of us read it. Everybody kind of had the same feeling about it, that it was just fine. If you're looking for an adoption story, if you are looking for, again, it would be, I wouldn't call it an easy read, but one where you're going to fall in love with the characters. You're going to love Gemma. You're going to be invested in the story, but you don't have to put a whole lot of feelings behind it, if that makes sense. This would be a book that works for you. So we did that one. And then this is the book that I kind of rage finished because I had such high hopes. I really did. So I'm going to spoil the 5-star predictions slightly because I have thoughts. I read The Vacation by T.M. Logan. It says right here, 7 days, 3 families, 1 killer. Killer. Do you want to know when somebody dies? Like way back here. Don't put that on the cover if nothing is happening till way back there. But I digress. This follows 3 families and a friend. So there's 4 friends, honestly, that have been friends in school. They were really, really close, and they used to do a lot of things together, and it kind of fell off by the wayside, as things do when people have families. And so they decide that it's enough. We are all going to go on vacation together. So they all go on vacation together. They stay in this huge house. I don't remember where. Somewhere. The south of France they go. And in the beginning, when they kind of get there, one of the women, Kate, discovers an incriminating text on her husband's cell phone that reveals that he is having an affair. And so we spend this much of the book freaking out about that. And then there's a killer, and then there's a little resolution, and then the book is done. So I got about halfway through, and I ended up having to put it on audio because I just needed to finish it. And at that point I was just like mad because I needed this and it wasn't happening. So pretty low rating, like 2.5. I'm not sure. This is my first T.M. Logan book. I want to give it another try. I have a couple other books, but this one just wasn't for me. But yeah, sorry, not sorry, I don't know. Thankfully, I had this book to help me through the month. I tried to go slow to absorb this. So this was a reread for me. This was done. We did a buddy read with the Booklist Thursday group. If you want to join the Booklist Thursday group, there's a link below. But we read this in the month of May. We took the entire month to read it. It was a reread for me, a reread for a handful of people, but the first time through for a number of people. So within this book, this is Kristen Hanna's first, maybe her second historical fiction. And it follows Vianne and Isabel, and they are sisters who live in France during World War II and the Nazi occupation. It follows both of their paths as they make varying decisions as to how they're going to survive the war. It is heartbreaking and filled with hope and deceit and secrets and chaos and war. It's heavy, yet written so beautifully, you just can't help but love it. 5 stars all around. I was a little nervous that I wouldn't love it as much as I did the first time, but I had nothing to worry about. I loved it even more. So if you haven't read this book, this is my time to shove this in your hands, and please read this book. It was so good. And then I ended the month on a really another light read that after the Nightingale, you need a light read. So I read Battle of the Bookstores. This is by Ellie Brady. It's her newest book that came out or comes out or just came out, something like that. This follows Josie and Ryan. They both manage 2 different bookstores that are kind of on the same street in this town. And Ryan's bookstore is all about romance books, and he's all about love and the fluffy and the happily ever afters and all that. Josie is about serious literature, in quotes. So 2 very different styles of bookstores, and there's a coffee shop in the middle. And during this time, the owner of this building has decided he needs to redo some stuff. He's going to open up this entire thing, and there's going to be one bookstore and a coffee shop. And so he's giving Josie and Ryan a month, 2 months, 3 months, something like that, a set amount of time, and whoever has the biggest profit margin will be the manager of the bookstore, and whoever isn't is out. So they start, of course, as quite the enemies, but it's an Allie Brady book, so we know there's going to be some romance. And the thing I love most about this is the number of references to books, to bookish things, to bookish activities, to bookish tropes. It's so fantastic. It's so fantastic. Highly recommend it. 4 flying stars. I loved it, and I honestly want to read some more Allie Brady books because I could totally get into them. It was really great. I laughed. It was fantastic. So definitely recommend that one as well. So that's it. 6 books in May is nothing to shy about because it was a crazy month. A few things that are coming up in June for me. I have a couple book club picks. So Paradise Problem, I just started today. Already hilarious, actually. Carly Fortune's new book, One Golden Summer. I need to read both of these before book club next week. Oops, we'll get there. And then I think that's it. So then I'll kind of do some mood reading and see what kind of pops up. I'm in the mood for a good thriller. So if you have a suggestion of a good suspenseful thriller, leave it below. I'm kind of in the mood for that. I didn't really read any thrillers in May. So I must not be okay. I don't know. I thought I was reading a thriller because, but it wasn't. Okay, off my soapbox. Anyways, if you've read any of these or if you want to chat about any of these, comment below. I love to talk about books in the comments. That works. If you want to just say hi and let me know you're here, leave some sort of, I don't know, we'll go with like a medical emoji, like the doctor. I think there's an ambulance emoji. I don't know, leave that below just in honor of the Devil Wears Scrubs, which I really did have fun with. Not only does it let me know that you're here, but it also helps the channel, so I really appreciate that. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe and all that other fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.